stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. Stay clear of the doors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and this is episode number 257 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Today's Monday, June 23rd, 2025, and we are back once again to bring a little Disney light and magic into your lives because Lord knows the world can be a scary place. But I can't do that all by myself. I got to bring in my co-host. And today, it's just an old school episode with the OG, the bad boy for life. It's Landon, the Doane. Landon, welcome back to the Monorail. How you doing?
Not too bad. Thank you very much, Papa Monorail. It's me. It's the DOZ, Landon, the Doane, coming to you from the Isolation Station, of course. And it's a Monday morning. You know what that means. And normally, I mentioned this when we're doing the plugs for the socials and stuff like this, where I tell you to go follow me, THEDUZ. Please go follow me on the Blueski. The world's kind of terrible right now. Well, even more terrible than it has been in recent times. But we're, to Jay's point, we're going to try and bring you a little bit of fun this Monday morning or whenever you're listening to it. We're gonna bring you some magic, some laughs. Hopefully, at least we're gonna try to, because that's what we do here on the Monday Morning Monorail.
Yeah, I like to think that we're a fun hang, and we throw in a little Disney news and information in addition to our glittering, wonderful personalities. But
that's why I'm wearing a fun shirt, even though it doesn't translate to a podcast. I'm wearing an Uncle Baby Billy Misbehaving Eras Tour T-shirt.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a good shirt. But yeah, so of course we're going to talk some Disney news. But today I wanted to keep it a little more light, and after we get through a couple headlines that I feel like we can knock out pretty quick, but they are pertinent, they're timely, and they will impact you if you're traveling to the parks in the next few weeks. But after we get through those, I wanted to focus on something that we haven't really done in a while, and I want to do a bit of a top 5 list. And today, the whole idea is talking about our Walt Disney World happy places. That's what I'm going to call it, our top 5 Walt Disney World happy places. And I didn't give Landon a ton of time to prepare for this because things, of course, in the world rapidly changed overnight. But this morning, I was feeling stressed. I know a lot of people are feeling stressed, and it may not even be global politically or anything like that. It may just be things in your life are stressing you out. And the whole thing that we love about Walt Disney World is it transports us to another place. It gives us that chance to really kind of take a step back from the real world and take a breath and refresh and feel that magic for a little while and not have to deal with some of the scary things that happen in day-to-day life. So today, I wanted to focus on that, focus on the fun, and talk about some of those moments, locations, whatever it may be, in Walt Disney World that bring us that magic. And I called it initially Disney Moments of Zen, but I really like the top 5 Walt Disney World happy places. So I think that's what we're going to go with. But before we get to that fun stuff and our listener responses to our weekly question from a couple weeks ago, we got to wrap that up. But we're going to talk some headlines. So let's do that. Let's get into the news. That's right, dreamers. We're back with a couple of headlines from the Walt Disney World Resort. We've scoured the internet. We have culled through the blogs, and we brought you the information that you need and that you want to hear. And of course, as always, you can follow along at DizMornings.com, our website, our one-stop shop for all things Morning Monorail and Diz Mornings at large. But if you're more of the audio type, the listening type, we can help you out with that too. And I wanted to start off with something. This is a little tribute to Steffer. Steffer's not here today. She's taking a couple of weeks off. She's kind of recalibrating. She'll be fine. But just so you know, Steffer's in good shape. We love you, Steffers. We miss you.
Love you, Steffers.
And this article is for her because we know Steffers is a huge Test Track fan. So Disney has officially announced the opening date of Test Track 3.0. It is scheduled to reopen on July 22nd. And along with that, they did announce there will be AP previews in addition to previews that are going to be open to other interest groups. Probably, I would say, like Club 33. They're going to get access. Of course, they're pass holders anyway. Maybe DVC. You know, they usually do this kind of thing for the previews whenever they open them up. Now, in the past, when Disney has announced that there's going to be AP previews for a ride or a land or whatever it may be, I, for some reason, don't get those emails when everybody else does. Like, mine come in an hour later or more.
That's right. Yeah.
So
you always have to piggyback on Cocktail Bob.
Yeah. Bob is usually like, hey, did you get in for the preview? I'm like, I didn't get an email. So I don't know why.
So Jay, just pay attention to Cocktail Bob's inbox to find out when the AP invites go out.
Yeah, the good news is I've hacked into his inbox now, so I'm getting all of his messages. But yeah, I will need to like nudge him and be like, hey, will you please give me a heads up as soon as you get this email, because I probably won't get it when you do. But yeah, I'll be watching, and I'm already speaking of stress.
Your spam filter.
I don't know, man. I don't know why it's like that. But speaking of stress, I'm going to be stressed trying to get that AP preview. I know, because I know they'll be going fast as soon as they're available. This is going to be huge when it comes back. And actually, along with this announcement, there were some additional videos that Imagineering put out this week that gave you a little preview of what the ride's going to look like. Landon, I don't know if you had a chance to look at those, but one of them was, there was like a tunnel that was full of like a million points of light, not to be political again, that looked like it's basically like telling you this is what an autonomous car sees as it's guiding you through, you know, the landscape. And it was a really interesting sort of a point of view. But I'm excited about the ride. I'm looking for it. I think we all are. This is going to be great. And Epcot needs it back in a hurry.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Epcot definitely feels like it's missing a piece of itself without Test Track.
Yeah. So
Test Track 3.0, I mean, I understand why they're calling it 3.0. I don't know if I love the new name.
Well, it's not really going to have, like, if they did show this, like the sign is out now out front. It just says Test Track. I think this is more. Okay,
good. All right.
This is more just between us chickens. We call it Test Track 3.0. And I did, in the notes, I popped in the ride description, and mainly it was because this is all stuff we've kind of talked about before. But one of the things I wanted to point out in this, because I think I've skipped over it in the previous readings of this description, is the verbiage around the queue, because it says the queue will feature 6 distinct exhibits, and within each room celebrate the vehicles and people behind the vehicles. It's better to be behind a vehicle than in front of, that push the envelope and help get people to our next chapter in our motion journey. You know what they're not mentioning? Customizable cars.
Oh, you're right.
So I think that's going to be gone now.
Ooh.
Which for me, I'll tell you my opinion. I think that's fine, because
I was about to say that could be a very controversial thing, because I'm with you. The customizing of cars, I could never really tell a difference. But to some people, it's like I distinctly remember on a solo trip down to Epcot, just seeing little kids light up, that they having a blast making their own cars. They love that stuff.
Yeah. If you go single rider, you actually skip over that part. You don't get to customize a car. And I just know I never miss it. Like, it's fine if I don't get to do it. 'Cause it doesn't always work exactly right anyway. But the one thing I will say that I thought was kind of cool about customizing your car, after the ride was over and you go into the post-show area, they've got some different interactive exhibits. And one of them was an opportunity, like a top-down view to virtually drive your car around a racetrack. So you could go up and tap your magic band, and then your car you customized would show up on the screen. and you got to race other people who were like stepping up to the exhibit as well and driving their cars. And I thought that was cool. I really liked that. But like in terms of on the ride, I mean, it's fun everybody loves bragging rights. Like if you get the highest score, great. But like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's a fun novelty, but I mean, we've said it before on this podcast, the most valuable form of currency you have in the parks is your time. I'd rather spend my time elsewhere as opposed to playing a fun racing game thing after you got off an attraction. I'd rather be heading to another attraction to queue up or going to grab a bite to eat or something to drink. That's just me, though.
No,
but
I hear
it
you.
is interesting, and good call by you and good catch by you pointing out that they are leaving out the customizable car element describing the queue.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe it's just they don't feel like they have to mention it, and it still will be there. But I feel like this is an opportunity to get rid of that. And it was something that, yes, kids loved it, but I feel like once you got into that room, it could potentially be a bit of like a cluster in that situation. So,
that's a very good way to describe it. Yes.
Get rid of some of that nonsense if you don't need it. There's enough going on for kids in the parks. They don't need to customize cars.
But in a Disney theme park, no, it's all for adults. Come on, man. Yeah.
All right, we can move on. Let's go on to something brand new.
Yeah, this is something that I've been looking forward to ever since they announced it, and something that Disney fans have been clamoring for a return of, and that is a nighttime parade in the Magic Kingdom. Disney Starlight nighttime parade showtimes and has been revealed, and also the path of said parade has been revealed as well. When Disney Starlight debuts in July 20th to be exact, the new nighttime parade will be available at 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, late night parade.
Daddy loves himself some late night Magic Kingdom. Also, let that be the first and last time I refer to myself as Daddy on this podcast. I apologize. Anyway, the parade will begin on Main Street, USA, and travel along the parade route towards good Lord, Frontierland to allow for better guest flow at the end of the evening. I think that is so smart as opposed to, heading towards the exit at the end of the evening, because like how you described the car creation, customization aspect of Test Track, I too think that could have been a cluster for the late night view. Well, not even just the late night aspect, the 9 p.m. even aspect, because not everybody's going to hang out for the 11 p.m. showing. Some people are going to be heading to the exits at 9 p.m. anyway, but 11 p.m. Heck yeah, sign me up. That and that means, I mean, we're getting some late night Magic Kingdom hours, y'all. Mm-hmm. Oh, I am so excited for that. Please note, Disney Starlight will not be available on evenings Magic Kingdom hosts Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And remember, this is an outdoor parade and is subject to cancellation due to inclement weather.
Of course.
Of course. Also note that the parade route will be from Main Street, USA to Frontierland for both the 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. showtimes. The parade route will remain this direction for the foreseeable future. And while the parade route is reversed compared to the daytime parade, it was common for nighttime parades to use the Main Street to Frontierland route when the Magic Kingdom had nighttime parades in the past. So, I mean, even though we're praising it, being like, yeah, good job by you, Disney, this is kind of Disney pulling a play from the playbook. It's almost like they've done this before.
What's really funny is human memory is flawed. And
I don't think just the memory is flawed when it comes to humans there, bud.
Well, it's one of many flawed things about humans. But I am trying to rack my brain. And what's really funny about this is I feel like I watched the Main Street Electrical Parade go the normal route. And we'll say normal, which is like the daytime parade.
The daytime parade, yeah.
Frontierland down Main Street. But maybe it did when it came back. But then I'm thinking like, okay, so then did Spectro Magic go the reverse way? Maybe it did. I'm struggling to remember, because now, of course, in my head is the Festival of Fantasy Parade, which always goes to Main Street last.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So, I mean, it's been a hot minute since the Magic Kingdom's had a nighttime parade.
A long time.
Unfortunately, it's been a minute since.
Yeah. But I'm really happy. I mean, we've all expressed our excitement about the return of a nighttime parade to Magic Kingdom. And I'm telling you, one of the things that, like, this is a key touring tip for you, especially if you're not a local. This is like you need your valuable time in Magic Kingdom. When there is a nighttime parade like this, here's what typically happens. You're going to get a parade at 9. The fireworks will happen right after that. And then there's still more time that the park's going to be open. Mm-hmm. People will clear out after that first parade, and they'll stick around Main Street. They'll watch the fireworks, and then all the people with like small kids and stuff, they leave.
Bingo.
Yeah. Bingo. So you get a good couple of hours where you're going to have like ability to ride something like the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train that maybe you didn't want to commit an hour to the queue. Probably be more like 30 minutes after that 9 p.m. or after the fireworks. So something to keep in mind. Like it's great to have a parade back, but also it really changes the flow of people in the park.
It absolutely does. I'll be very interested to see what times look like once Starlight drops on July 20th. What wait times look like going forward from the 9 p.m. to close. Do we know what Magic Kingdom's closing time is going to be once July 20th comes about? I know I'm putting you on the spot. I would imagine, probably midnight?
I would say 11:30 maybe, but I'm going to check and see if I can tell you. Because at this point, that's less than a month away, so we should.
I mean, like this episode's dropping on the 23rd of June, so I mean, we are inside a month of Starlight Nighttime Parade dropping. Which we knew it was coming, but like it's like, oh, holy crap! Like it's almost here.
Yeah. Okay, so July 20th, which is opening night, and by the way, I have a park pass for July 20th. Our good buddy Nate, who is also part of our Diz Mornings team, is going to be in town that weekend as well. So we're planning to go check out the Starlight Nighttime Parade on opening night. Wish us luck because it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, I was going to say that's going to be very peoply.
Yeah.
Not that there isn't a time where the Magic Kingdom isn't peoply, but oh boy,
I know. So maybe we ought to shoot for that 11 p.m. showing. I don't know, but it's saying Magic Kingdom is 9 a.m. to 11 on the 20th. So, so the parade starts at closing time, which that's not uncommon. When Magic Kingdom or any of the parks close, they don't chase you out with lightsabers or anything. Like typically, although that would be cool.
Only in Hollywood studios.
But typically people are going to want to shop. At that point, all the quick service and table service, all the restaurants will be closed, but the gift shops stay open. Trust me.
Yeah. If there's a Disney dollar due to be earned, Disney is going to let you spend it.
Yeah, but what they will do is they post cast members at different parts of the park. So, like, say you're in Liberty Square and you tried to walk towards like the Rapunzel bathrooms or back towards Fantasyland. There's going to be a cast member that says you can't go that way and you need to turn around. It's time to head out. But once you get to like shops and stuff, you can always go in and shop. So I would say what's going to happen is they'll start, they typically will let you get in a line, as long as it's not a really long line, for a ride right up until closing time. They'll cut the lines off. They'll start sending people to the front of the park. And this is all going to be happening while the parade, but I'm sure
going on.
Yeah. So that'll be kind of interesting because I actually am a little surprised that there's not going to be a little more park time after the parade just to kind of thin out the mass exodus.
Because, I mean, people are going to be there watching the parade, and the parade starts at 11, and that's when the park closes.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, like, maybe midnight that I threw out was a little ambitious, but, I mean, at least 30 minutes like you threw out, 11:30 to people, who were watching the parade get out.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, we don't run the park.
Yeah. So I guess maybe a good tip then would be if you want to watch the 11 parade, then maybe a good spot to watch it would be, in the town square. So that way you see everything as it comes out and starts to head up Main Street. And as soon as that last float's gone, you can head out and hit the monorail or ferry, and you'll be like one of the first people post parade to do that. Because everybody else will be waiting for those last floats to close. So to go by. A little tip.
That's actually a really good tip.
I wanted to, sometimes I have good things to say.
Every now and then, thank y'all for listening. Every now and then we do give out good information.
So also I wanted to point out, so if you've been to Magic Kingdom over the last couple of months, you've noticed there's been construction going on in the Emporium. And one of the things I noticed when I was there this last time was that, you know, it's sort of like the central section of the Emporium. It's where, like, you can go in, they typically have a display right when you walk in that has like whatever their current color of the month or whatever that is, kind of right there with the Spirit jersey and Mickey and Minnie ears and that kind of stuff. And then in the back of that room, they have a wall of water bottles and mugs.
Yep.
You know the room I'm talking about? There used to be a cashier station there. It's gone. They got rid of those cash registers.
What?
Yeah. So that room is a lot more open now.
Huh.
So it also means less cash registers in the Emporium.
I was going to say, that's one less spot you can go to get your stuff. And especially at the end of the night, to your point, I mean, if you want to buy something, Disney's going to let you buy something. But at the end of the night, there is a mad rush, especially in the Emporium. Like, tons of people. Everybody that was in the Magic Kingdom is now in the Emporium. It's like, well, do I need this shirt with Goofy on it saying Gorsh?
Right. Well,
you know what? I think I do.
Of course you do.
Of course you do. Yeah.
But so because of that, all the more reason to do your mobile checkout on the app. But then here's another thing that you need to know. The closer you get to the exit of the Emporium that's closest to like the Main Street train station, those mobile checkout stations are now getting long lines of people that are trying to show that they mobile purchased, because you have to do that. You have to show them your barcode, they scan it, and then you can get bags and stuff if you need that before you head out of the store. So what I did, because I did make a purchase at Magic Kingdom and it was after the fireworks and the Emporium was a madhouse, I walked all the way back, like as close as I could get to Casey's, and there was a person at that door, like a mobile checkout cast member at that door. Nobody was there. The ones that were closer to the train station were backed up, I'm going to say 30 people deep.
Shoot, Lord.
So
if I'm standing in the queue with 30 plus people at Disney, there better be an attraction at the end of that queue.
Yeah. And cramming all the, because there's already cash registers on two sides of that room, that last room of the Emporium.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got mobile checkout that's backing up. It was, you couldn't even move, honestly. It was so a couple of pieces of advice. Maybe do your shopping before the fireworks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then also, if you are going to mobile checkout, go back to I'm going to say the farthest north side of the Emporium to go to the mobile checkout station before you leave.
So it would be the mobile checkout station closest to the castle?
Yeah. Yeah.
Giving landmarks. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Closest to the Casey's, closest to the castle, as opposed to closest to the confectionery and
train station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, great advice. Why have you waited this many episodes to start giving great advice? I mean, we've had 256 episodes. You wait until 257?
I know. Well, you got to make them wait for it.
Exactly. The anticipation. Yeah.
All right. So those are our headlines. That's the two headlines we wanted to share this week. And now I think it would be fun if we chat a little bit about the topic of the week. And that is, of course, our top 5 Walt Disney World happy places. Now, even though Steffers is not here with us, I did get her to send a couple of things so I can share her perspective on happy places. And I know, Landon, I didn't give you a ton of time to prepare. So that being the case, it doesn't have to be in any particular order. And you know, it's probably not going to be exactly 5. There may be more than that, but we have to have a catchy name for something like this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's all about, what is it? SEO.
Yeah. SEO optimization. Exactly.
Exactly.
So
I pulled that one out of my ass. Good job by me.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit meta podcasting here. Like the keywords matter.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one gets a lot of traction.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But I'll kick us off here, and I'm gonna hopefully this will give you an idea of kind of what I'm thinking. But I'm gonna start, and I'm not gonna take the most obvious one because I'm hoping that'll end up on your list. But this is gonna be, it's probably an obvious one anyway. But a moment of Zen for me is a nighttime ride on the People Mover when it has started to cool off. You know, either the sun is setting or it's totally nighttime. You get on the People Mover and you just get to kick back. And I'm telling you, I love going with my friends, of course, but if it's just me and I can kick my feet up on that seat across from me, put my arms up across the People Mover and just kind of lean back and feel the breeze. And it's even better when you get to go into Space Mountain. It's even darker and it's a little bit cooler in there. And it's just taking in the views, especially at the end of the day, because at that point, you've kind of checked off your list and you're like, now we can kind of relax and cool down and just like say, what a day, and enjoy that calm, relaxing ride on the People Mover. That to me is like a magical escape that I just feel like is incomparable. It's wonderful. So that's kind of the example of what I'm thinking.
I love that. Yeah.
Top 5 happy places. So that being the case, Landon, do you have you put it together a few that you can throw out there?
In fact, I did. I did come up with 5, exactly 5.
Nice.
But much like something a lot of my professors in college heard me say, I did not understand the assignment. So
okay.
I came up with moments of Zen from past Disney trips that came to my mind.
That's perfectly fine.
I have some that are more evergreen and some that are trip specific. So I'm going to start with some evergreen moments of Zen and then go to the trip specific moments of Zen, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. All right. When you threw out this assignment, for the lack of a better term, this came to my mind immediately. And I didn't know I did this until the Smoking Hot Fiance pointed this out. The first time I visit the Polynesian on a trip, I walk through the doors and I'll into the lobby and I take a big deep breath and just breathe in the smell. And then I do a long exhale and I just smile.
Yeah. I
didn't realize I did that. But after she's traveled with me several times, Lindsay pointed it out. It's like, you do this. And it's like, do I? And then, oh my God, I do. So like that is a moment of Zen for me. And I also do the same thing the first time I take a sip of Kungaloosh on my that first sip of Kungaloosh on a Disney trip for me. Like that is a moment of Zen for me. Like that is stuff that I look forward to every time I travel down to the resorts. Is like those two things right there. One is free and the other, isn't and involves a ticket into the parks. But I mean, like that right there. I mean, small slice of heaven on earth.
Yeah. Oh man. And this is how I know you picked a good one, because you were talking about walking in the Polynesian lobby and taking that breath. And I was visualizing it while you were talking about it. And I was like, oh yeah. Like I was getting the goosebumps over here. I'm like, yeah, I just want to wash in that feeling, because that's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah.
And especially if it's like a hot day or whatever, you walk in, get that nice blast of AC.
Oh, so good.
Breathe that in.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
That's great. That's really good. And of course, that sip of Kungaloosh is like manna from heaven sometimes.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to build on your resort one. And it's a little more like specific experience. And I'm sad that I haven't gotten to do this in a while. And you win some, you lose some. I'm a local now, so I don't stay at the Disney resorts like I used to. But I should, honestly. I should do more staycations. But one of the things that always is magical to me when I do stay at the Disney resorts is very similar to the TTA feeling. Coming back to your room at the end of the night, you've had a successful park day, you've checked everything off, you stop by the cafeteria or whatever on the way to the room and fill up your refillable mug full of whatever you want, soda or whatever it may be. You go to the room and you sit down and just like get to take a breath and like relax your shoulders and just say, yeah, and you can kind of start strategizing about the next day. But I usually, for the most part, I'm a planner, so I've got that taken care of. So I can just kick my feet up and just chill in the room and enjoy like that soda in my refillable mug. Like that to me is that when I think back to the trips that I would take with the kids and we would come down, staying at Pop Century or the Art of Animation or whatever, I really looked forward to like arriving back from the parks on the bus, stopping by the cafeteria and fill it. I always like to get root beer, which I feel like the root beer is only available at Pop Century, if I remember right. It's at one of the two. Like one of them doesn't have root beer. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'd fill up my mug with root beer and then just take that, your feet are killing you. You're tired. Those last steps to the room are hard, but when you get there and you can sit on the bed or sit on a chair and just put on the Mickey Shorts cartoons on the TV. Oh, heck yeah, man. That to me it's like a magical reward for a rough day.
Yeah. I'm going to amen you on that one. That feeling, I mean, like even like getting to the room or even like just getting on whatever mode of transportation you're taking away from whatever park you're at, when you can just sit down and and reflect back on what the day you just had, that successful day in the park. Oh, that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
That is a great feeling. Yep.
So good. What do you got next?
Okay. This is another one of the firsts on your trip. The first time you visit whatever park you're going to, like whether it's when you scan in and you walk under the train tracks in the Magic Kingdom and you walk right out on Main Street, USA, with the Cinderella Castle in the background. Like, oh, the hair on my arm is standing up just talking about it. You scan in at Epcot, and I'm assuming you're going in the front door, not through what is it? The World Showcase,
the International Gateway. Yeah,
International Gateway. Thank you. And boom, right there, Spaceship Earth and all of her glory is right there to greet you. Animal Kingdom, got to walk up a slight incline, but when you do, like there's the Tree of Life to greet you. It's like, okay, here we go, going to be a fun day. And then I just realized Hollywood Studios to me doesn't really have that hit. So it's like maybe if it had like a sorcerer's hat or something, that would help. No, Hollywood Studios is like seeing the Chinese theater all lit up for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is cool, but it doesn't hit like say Spaceship Earth. But I mean, like the first time you go to a park on your trip, it's like, all right, cool, here we go. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. We're here for the Disney magic. We get to leave the baggage of the real world at the door. Unfortunately, we will pick it up on the way out, but for a handful of hours, we get to just have fun.
Yeah. Oh, that is nice. Yeah. Especially if you walk in and you get a little bit, like once you get through security, you get through, you've tapped your magic band and you get a little bit of moment of space after you've been standing in a couple of lines and you can kind of really take it in. It's like, I'm here. I made it and I'm here. Adventure awaits.
I mean, even just that sound that when you scan your magic band in, that ding noise, it's like, yeah, there we go. It's like good. Disney's trained us like Pavlov's dog or something.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Okay. So I had a couple that I was trying to debate which one I wanted to go with next. I'm going to build on Hollywood Studios here because I was thinking about that today. And I realized a lot of my moment of Zens are like taking in scenery or like water features or things. And I have found the area of the Hollywood Studios that's most calming to me is the area around Echo Lake. Being able to stand over there near Gertie or whatever it may be, kind of near the tune-in lounge, because I might step in there and get a drink and then come out and sit on a bench for a minute and just kind of take that in, because it's a little bit away from like the main hustle and bustle, because people are going, you're going up Hollywood Boulevard, up Sunset, and a lot of times they'll go like towards the theater and take a left if they're going to go to Star Wars, like Star Tours or Batuu or whatever it may be. And they don't really come around that way. People tend to not come around there unless they're going to the restaurant. There's Hollywood and Dine there, and then there's the 50s Primetime. So unless people come to the restaurants, they don't really go over there so much. So it's like a nice moment. You've got the water going. There's usually like ducks that are swimming around on the pond. You can watch the fountains. And whether it be with a Mickey bar, a popcorn, a pretzel, or like a beer or something, like that's a nice moment to kind of, if you need a little, there's not shade over there per se, but it's just a nice little break. It's a little more calm and quiet. So That's a moment in that park. I was going to say Baseline Tap House, but the reason I didn't say that is because I think unless it's a lower crowd day, I get stressed about trying to find a place to sit.
Yes.
So
100%.
I can't call that a moment of zen because I get that anxiety feeling, even though I love Baseline.
Yeah, you're in line and you're already eyeballing. It's like, okay, there's like 5 people ahead of me, and there's like 3 tables. Crap.
Yeah.
Though I will say, Baseline Tap House, if you don't see any seating outside, there's a surprisingly large amount of seating inside.
Yeah.
And it has air conditioning. So
that's true.
There's that. Yeah.
The inside is much more chill than sitting outside, I would say. If you sit inside, you kind of miss out on the ambiance of, sitting outside and just taking in the ambiance again of Hollywood studios. Now you get to sit and look at a big wall, a construction wall.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The theming inside Baseline Tap House does leave a lot to be desired, but it does have seating, a place you can put your drink, and big ass pretzel and charcuterie boards and nuts.
It's good stuff. Baseline's great. I'm not disparaging it. I just don't think it's a happy place. It's not a moment of zen. That's interesting. I didn't make that distinction, but I feel like there is a difference. And so, yeah, there you go. I give myself, I allow it. I'm judging my own submission, and I allow it.
How very kind of you, sir.
All right. What else you got?
All right. This is a trip specific moment of zen. I don't know if you've heard about this little thing called COVID.
What? Don't remember it.
My first post-COVID trip to the park, because it actually involved the highlight was meeting up with you and Frank. And the day that we spent in Animal Kingdom is still like a top 10 day in my life. Riding Everest. Having drinks at Nomad and the bar near the safari. And then I'll never forget, there's an animal on the path where me and Frank stood in line for the safari for what felt like eons, because there was in fact an animal on the path. That was a day that, like, okay, this is why I still come to Disney.
Yeah.
Like experiences like that. And plus it was just a nice piece of escapism, because I mean, like, coming out of I say coming out of COVID, unfortunately COVID's still around, and we just pretend we just pretend it doesn't. It was just nice to be able to do something like that again. And it wasn't the experience that we were used to, because that was still, we still had to worry about spacing, and there was masking policies and stuff like that. But I mean, just being able to take a step back towards what we were used to was so nice. Yeah. And Disney was a part of it.
Oh, that was a great day.
Mm-hmm. That's the day that we made Frank an AK.
That's right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And let the record show that Frank now loves the Animal Kingdom.
Yep. On that day he did. And I will say, like, he's given us credit that, like, when he spent time with us there, he understands a little bit more why we love it so much. So I don't, and we, Frank and Jen, they say they're AK haters. They secretly love it. We know it's true.
It is true. Yeah. Anybody that says they hate something that much, they secretly love it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got one, that honestly, this just came to my mind, but it like shot up to the top of the list when I thought about it. And it's not tied to any specific point in the day. It could be anytime, morning, noon, nighttime, whatever. I kind of think sunset would be ideal. It would be perfect if you could do this. But a solo Skyliner ride, when you can get on a Skyliner Sky Bucket and they don't put any other parties in with you. So I don't necessarily mean all by myself. It could be the people that I'm with. But
well, you're going to tell them in case be like, no, you stay.
Yeah, you stay. I go by myself.
This is Jay's bucket.
But it's so nice. Like, the views are wonderful. And when the Skyliner's moving, the breeze going through feels so good in those buckets. And I don't have like a height issue or a claustrophobia issue. So I have this may be very specific to me and people like me, but getting like that experience in the Skyliner, I say it all the time. I know we're the Monday morning monorail. I would just as easily be the Sunday sunset Skyliner. I love the Skyliner so much. That like, yeah. And to compare it to a monorail ride, very frequently it's very rare that you would get your party gets their own like monorail section. Like there's always going to be other people, and I try my best to let other people take seating whenever I can. So I'm usually standing up, and if I just feel like it's going to be less likely that you'd get like a nice peaceful monorail ride. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I don't love how it smells most of the time.
Look, I apologize. I didn't mean to do that. No.
It does take me to magical places, and there's a reason that we named this show the Monorail. We love the monorail, but I just don't. It doesn't have that magical feeling of like, wow, this is a moment like the Skyliner can have. So that's why I submit Skyliner.
Okay, well, I'm going to build. I no longer have exactly five because you just gave me inspiration on one. You mentioned Sunset. There was a moment. Actually, I think it might be the only time I've ever actually been to the Cali Grill because I didn't have reservations. But sometimes you can walk up to the bar at Cali Grill, and I just so happened to walk up to the bar at Cali Grill right at sunset, and I'll never forget this. I was sitting at the bar with my old fashioned, and I turn and look out over Bay Lake right as the sun is going down, and it just like it was like out of a painting.
Yeah,
seeing the Magic Kingdom with the water and the sun going like again, the hair on my arm is standing up. It was like that right there is like if I could go back in time and take a picture from my brain and hang it on the wall, that might be it. That right there was a pure moment of just, serenity.
Yeah.
It was like, this is incredible. It's like you may be an atheist, but if you saw what I saw, that right there might make you second guess and be like, there might be a higher power.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty magical.
And also, I'm not saying Jay is an atheist. I'm just putting that out there as a hypothetical. Also, I don't know. Jay may be an atheist. Get in the comments. Is Jay an atheist? No.
Yeah. That's the question. The question of the week.
Question of the week is Jay an atheist?
A Jay-theist, I like to call it.
Oh, Lord. Hey, if we start our own religion, we don't have to pay taxes. So become a Jay-theist.
No, that's nice. That's really good. And that's, I got to say, because we don't always say great things about Cali Grill, but one of the things,
rightfully so in my opinion.
But one of the things that you will get there is an amazing view, and you can't beat that view. The fireworks viewing is amazing from there, but I just I think that the food could be a little bit better. Personal
get off
opinion.
That prefix menu.
Take off the prefix. Yeah,
get that garbage out.
Yeah, but so when I was thinking about this, I had trouble to come up with like restaurants. That's a good one that you just had. And I was like, because very often Disney restaurants can be loud and there's a lot going on in them. But I'm going to throw it back to Hollywood Studios. I'm going to say I have had some calm, relaxing experiences in sci-fi. And I've brought this up before because it almost is. It can be hypnotic in there sometimes because they've got like the old clips of horror movie, or not horror, but like spooky movie previews and stuff like that. I don't want to make it like sci-fi. It's the Sci-Fi Dine-In Lounge. So they've got like the clips playing on the screen, and of course my theory has always been because they make it nighttime in there. The lighting is low and you just have lighting at your car or table, wherever you're sitting. It feels like people almost think that you have to keep your voice down. Like there's two things at play. One, it's dark, but two, it's like you're at a movie theater, even though you're not really watching a movie. So it tends to be quieter in there. And I think their burgers are good. I think the food is good enough. And I just, like, when I think about the times I've been there, I'm going to say 4 times. And yeah, I think of that and I'm like, that is, if people are looking for an option for like Disney table service that's a little more like calm and relaxing in the parks, I can't think of anything that compares to that environment. So that's one of the ones that jumps to my mind. I think of it as a happy place, and I think of it as a moment of Zen because I love the theming. I think it's really cool, and I feel like you do sort of get a little bit of peace in there, unless, sometimes there's screaming kids, but that's going to happen.
I mean, it's a theme park.
That can happen anywhere.
Yeah, honestly, that can happen anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll add that one on the restaurant. I really struggled with that because I couldn't think of. I mean, there's one, but that's going to be the number one for me. So
okay,
that's coming up next.
I like that tease. All right. Well, unfortunately, because I no longer have 5, we're going to have some uneven stuff. My next entrance is going to be another trip specific one. And it again goes back around the vid right before the world really shut down, or at least here in America. I had a big Disney blowout trip scheduled for my mom, and or the Lotus, as she's known around these parts at least. And we had to cancel. I mean, like, our trip was end of February. And if you remember the timeline, like, the world shut down, again, at least here in America, at the beginning of March. So, I mean, like, the timing could not have been worse for this trip. So we had to put it off for several years. But a moment of Zen for me in Disney is being able to finally pay off that trip, because I did everything in my power to make my mom feel like a Disney princess on that trip. I mean, like the finest dining experiences. We stayed for all the nighttime shows because she is a firework honk. She loves fireworks. So I made sure, like, not only did we stay for all the fireworks, we found good, or what I thought were good spots so she could see it, because also the Lotus is a very
diminutive,
a person. So being able to see over people of Cocktail Bob's height would have been an issue. So I mean, like that was a Disney memory that I will like just thinking about it again makes the hair on my arm stand up, makes me smile, and I will take that to my grave. It like makes me so happy that I was able to pay that off, because it's like my mom and has been to the parks before. She'd taken me and Tyler, but I mean, like, Jay, it's like you've taken small kids to Disney parks and theme parks before, and then you've gone just by yourself. There is a world of difference going to a park with kids and going to the park for yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
This was the first time that my mom had been able to go to Disney for herself. So I wanted to like show her why I love Disney the way I do, and show why Disney is magic to me, and let her see it. And she walked away being like, okay, I can see why you keep coming back to this place. And so like, that to me, it's like, just, that puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
That was such a magical trip. And that was also the trip where we almost saw 2 giraffes on the safari do it like they do on the Discovery Channel, the Bloodhound Gang. I've never seen one of those drivers on the safari drive that fast to get us out of that area.
Oh, man. Well,
yeah,
I feel like he robbed you of an experience, to be honest.
No kidding. I'm still bummed about that. But thankfully, I would have had my mom there to explain what was going on. I would have finally gotten that talk.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the last one that I had picked out in my mind, but of course I can always come up with other things. But I saved it for last because I thought you might hit this one. But for me,
I know where you're going.
Ultimate happy place. I want to be on that patio at Nomad Lounge.
Yep. Yep. That was definitely on my. Well, I just had dim ribs on my list.
Well, I think we can wrap it all up. Dim ribs, that patio, Kungaloosh.
Yep.
Put me out there. I and then put me down, because that's about as happy as I'm going to be. I went yesterday, and when I got to the park, I got there around noon, and there was an hour wait. But I was able to join the walk up, but it was like, it'll be 60 minutes. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I wandered around Pandora a little bit. I thought about riding Navi River Journey, but then I thought better of it. But then it was like It was like a legitimate 60 minutes. It did take that long because they called me about, it was like 1:05 when they called me in. But they put me in one of the little, typically this happens to you when I go by myself, you get one of the little 2-seater tables right by the rail on the deck, overlooking the water. And that's where they put me. But that's totally fine. Although the table's a little small and I want to order all the food. I keep trying to say.
Yeah. Everything, please.
Well, yeah, everything.
We call that the Landon, yeah.
Like if I'm there with 2 people, forget about it. There's not, because we're going to have at least 2 drinks, 2 waters, and then all the food. There's no room.
Yep. Can confirm.
Yeah. So, but they sat me down. And yesterday I just went with the chicken wings, which they're not the ribs, but they are very good.
They are good, but yeah, not dim ribs, but good substitute.
Yeah, they're all right.
And the chicken skewers are good, but again, not dim ribs. But it's like y'all really went heavy on the chicken when you got rid of dim ribs, didn't you?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, put a cold drink in my hand. Bring me something delicious from the menu, maybe the churro, I don't care, and put me on that patio overlooking the water, and you can hear a little bit of Pandora, the sounds of Pandora in the background, and it's just... Yeah. I honestly, I could stay there all day. and I've tried.
I've said it before on podcasts. It's like if I go to Animal Kingdom and the only thing I do is go to Nomad Lounge, I consider that a good day in the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily, I was able to combine that with a viewing of the Festival of the Lion King, and then I was like, hey.
Oh.
Yeah, you put those 2 things together, that's pretty good. So.
God.
I think it goes without saying, for me, the Animal Kingdom is a happy place. Like you would be hard pressed to find a place in there. Actually, maybe the least calming place is like in front of the Tree of Life. And I wonder if maybe that's why people think of it as like having no shade, or like, I don't know. But of course that area is very opened up. But like I was walking, just making the circle, going around the water yesterday, and I'm, back in the Asia section of Animal Kingdom. I'm like, it is just so beautiful. It's just like, I don't know. I could rave about it forever. But yes, Animal Kingdom is my happy place.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
Yep.
It's a beautiful park. The theming's great, and the ambiance is just wow. I've said ambiance a lot this episode. Just breathe it in. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And plus, it's the home of Nomad Lounge.
It's a vibe.
Okay. My last one is going to be some Disney firsts. First day of Galaxy's Edge. I mean, like again, it was a trip with involved you and Frank Cardillo, us sharing that little mermaid room, getting up in the middle of the night.
Angela threatening our lives.
Yeah. She hops into your car. The first thing I think she says, pointed specifically at me. It's like, I know judo or jujitsu. Yeah. It's like, okay, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Landon. It's like, I'm gonna karate you, fat guy. It's like, perfect, great, off to a hot start. But then it's like being able to say we were there for the opening of Galaxy's Edge, and it's like that was a memory that I will never forget. And it's like moments like that make me keep going back to the parks. It's like, and the pictures that we took and I mean, like I've since kind of soured on Oga's, but going to Oga's that day and like we were in a Star Wars bar, and being on the Falcon on day one was so cool. And being able to share it with you and Frank was so awesome. And then it just so happened, I had a trip lined up for the day that Rise of the Resistance launched. So that was an amazing experience as well. Just meeting friends in line, and then we ended up palling around the rest of the day in Hollywood Studios. So I have a picture of me and Santa and 2 random Disney friends that occasionally pop up on my timeline. So that's fun. It's like, again, it's moments like that remind. It's like, yes, this is why I continue to give this giant corporation my money.
Yeah,
and why it's like, I will say, it's like, yeah, I'm an adult that keeps going to Disney. Now, am I one of those quote unquote Disney adult? Okay, maybe I am, because here I am hosting a Disney podcast. But it's like, I mean, like I love moments like that, and it's the magic.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, before we totally wrap up, we got to share. Steffers did throw in a couple of things for us, and of course, Steffers. She's our Universal representative, so she threw in one for Universal as well. But
I actually have one for Universal. If we can go across the Universal after Steffers.
Yeah. All right. So her Disney moment of Zen that she threw out was sitting at the Grand Floridian outside the cafe and listening to the fountain. And that, yes, another water feature involved in a moment of Zen, but I think that's very fitting. And yeah, that's great. Great surroundings, great ambiance. That's the word of the day.
This is the ambiance episode.
I'm surprised. So her Universal one is sitting behind Richter's and just taking in the view of the lagoon. Now, I agree. That's nice. I can't believe that she didn't put like the ET queue or something in there, like the ET Adventure queue where you get to smell the pine,
smell,
all that. Like, because that to me, even though you're in a line, is very calming and relaxing. Like that queue is nice, but I can't speak for Steffers, so I'll speak for myself. That's my Universal moment of Zen. Is the ET queue.
Okay, all right.
What's yours?
Well, also feel free to speak for Steffers anytime. Mine is, if y'all know me, like. I love The Simpsons as almost as much as anything and anybody. The first time that I was able to go into Moe's and sit at the bar and have a Duff, the picture of me on Facebook, I don't think I've ever smiled that big in that picture. And the caption rings true. They say your dreams never come true, ... That was a dream come true in that moment. Now it's not actual Springfield, yada, yada. Yes, I know. But I mean, like that right there was just so like, oh my God. And the team member, I think, realized, like this was a big moment for me, so they even let me. It's like they gave me one of the glass bottles of Duff and like let me hold it and take a picture. And
nice.
It was just so awesome. Like to be able to say it's like I've sat in Moe's and had a Duff.
Yeah,
just like I've seen in hundreds of times in hundreds of episodes of The Simpsons. That like that was that. I mean, just thinking about it puts a smile on my face. It was so and. Okay, you don't want to speak for Steffers. I'm going to speak for the Smoking Hot Girlfriend. The first time she walked in Diagon Alley, like she legit broke down crying. She was so happy, and I got it on film.
That's amazing. But I think all in all, that's exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. Is this is why we love the parks? They create these moments where. Yeah, sure. We know it's not reality. It's a suspension of your disbelief, but your quote unquote dreams are coming true. You're experiencing things in real life that you thought you would only see on a screen or read about. And those transformative, transportive moments are what hook you and what keep you going back. And, that's the magic. So like, it's interesting how, in this list, we've talked a lot about kind of almost three different categories of things, but like part of it is like the magic of the parks and where they can take you. And then the creating the memories with your friends and loved ones. And then like just those moments of relaxation and calm where you can actually just like the world doesn't matter right now. I'm having.
You're gonna make me cry, dude.
I'm having a moment, and we're having a moment right now, but like
we are,
yeah, but that's what it's all about. That's why we do this podcast, and we connect with people who
These
also
are big manly tears. It's okay.
We connect with people who get it, because, and I think anyone, if you're listening to this show, I think it's because you get it. You understand, what it is that makes these places so special. So. That being the case, of course, we'd love to hear from you and let us know, in the comments when we post this episode. Share you can do either one, because I think there is a distinction, your Disney moments of Zen or your happy places, whichever one you want to share, or both, or neither. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. But
yeah, but mostly let us know if Jay's an atheist.
Yeah.
and also, do you want to become a Jaytheist?
We'll start a poll. Yeah. And I'll be outed.
What the hell?
I don't know that's what it was all about. In the end.
Is that not the takeaway I'm supposed to get?
No,
yeah.
no. But hey, speaking of interacting with you, our lovely Monday Morning Monorail fam, we did ask a question a couple of weeks ago regarding the Rock and Roller Coaster, and we all know the Muppets are taking over the Rock and Roller Coaster after 2025 because Aerosmith gets to at least keep on rocking through the end of the year. But then we will get the retheming, and the Muppets will be put in place in the Rock and Roller Coaster. So we asked all of you if you could pick a song that would be played as the onboard audio for the Rock and Roller Coaster performed by the Muppets, what would it be? And you all responded. We got a lot of answers here. Landon, are you trying to hand me a news bulletin? What is happening?
No. Okay, so I have a skylight directly above where I'm recording, and the sun is directly above my screen, so it is completely widened out the screen, so I can't see the answers. I'm trying to create shade.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in Animal Kingdom. No. So
it looked like you're trying to hand me a piece of paper. I'm like,
I'm
I can't.
using a piece of mail I have just off screen to shade my screen so I can read answers.
All right. Well, I didn't know that was going to be a challenge.
I didn't either. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll get us kicked off here. So this came from the Facebook. Of course, you can join our group on Facebook. It's the Monday Morning Monorail fam, and you can interact with us all through the week. But Jeremy, our friend from Main Street Magic, chimed in, and he said, I kind of want Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem to basically just replace, I don't know why I said it like that, Aerosmith. Same story, same songs, but now they're covers. Everything else is just Muppified. It's funny because, Jeremy, thank you for that response. We kind of talked about that when we asked this question, and our hope was that Disney wasn't just going to slap like a Muppet sticker on everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want a little more effort to go into it. But we'll see. I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens. I just hope that's not the case. You look so funny in the video right now.
Yeah, this is the one week we don't use video, and I'm breaking out props.
Do you want me to read? I can read them if you'd prefer. I just read them.
No, I think I can struggle through this.
All right.
Next up is Gordon. Moving right along. It's already a Muppet song.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be fine with that. Though tonally, I don't know if Moving Right Along would fit as you're, just ripping through what once was the LA highway system. But I mean, Moving Right Along is a dope Muppet song.
Yeah,
I like the answer, Gordon. Great answer. You are my favorite member of the Monorail fam.
All right. And then Aurora actually replied to Gordon and said, agree.
Okay, all right. Take that, my beliefs.
I would love if Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem remixed Moving Right Along and accompanied Kermit and Fozzie in the new version. If we're
all right.
Yeah. If we're hoping for a cover, I think Born to Be Wild could be fun, especially if Animal has a drum solo. And then she said, I'm so sad we lost Muppet Vision 3D, but I hope we can still hashtag save the Muppets in a way with this redesign of Rock and Roller Coaster. Us too, Aurora. And thank you so much for your response.
Yeah, I really love that answer. And Aurora kind of fixes what I said tonally. I don't know if it would work, but I mean, yeah, if they do a remix of it, I think that would fix my quote unquote qualm with it. But yeah, great answer, Aurora. Next up is going to be Sandy. The song that jumps into my mind is Ooh, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. I know it starts slow, but it could be what you hear as you're waiting to launch. Fozzie Bear could sing the lead with the Electric Mayhem Band. I love the idea of a selection of songs that are random because that's what what makes some of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind so much fun.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Queen, but I also love the idea of almost like a you don't know what you're getting before you get on.
Yeah.
That would a rewritability aspect to a roller coaster, much like Sandy's point. What Guardians has, I think, would be great in this instance. Great answer, Sandy. You're my favorite member of the Monorail family.
Oh, here's something that they could do. If we're losing Rip Ride Rocket pretty soon in Universal Studios Orlando, one of the cool aspects of that ride is getting to pick your song that you're going to listen to while you ride. It would be awesome if there was a selection of songs you could pick, but they were all Muppets versions of those songs. So basically,
cool.
The Rip Ride Rocket treatment, but you get to pick your own song. That would be amazing. All right, so now we got Lee, our good buddy Lee from across the pond. Not.
Sorry. You have Lee, or in this instance, Lee, and then the first letter of his last name, T. I read that as Leet for some
Leet. Leet speak.
Yeah, sorry, please continue.
He said, not sure on song whilst riding, but as you stop before the launch, Kermit starts with a rendition of Rainbow Connection to lull you into a false sense of security just before you launch. Animal launches into rock remix drum solo, and you're launched through a multicolored tunnel and into the... Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's a dope idea. I love that.
That's very good.
Next up, Allison loves Lee's suggestion. Hopefully, they get a better sounding Kermit than their most recent post. Oh, Allison just dunked on Kermit.
Isn't Jim Henson's son the voice of Kermit now?
I know at one point he was. I don't know if he still is. This might be a Muppet hot take. I agree with Allison.
He sounded weird in that video.
It's like maybe Kermit had a cold that day.
Yeah.
Did Kermit need to take a COVID test before he recorded and said no, it's fine?
Okay. I was way wrong. So okay, the current voice of Kermit is Matt Vogel. He took over the role in 2017, according to a Muppets fan site. Before Matt Vogel, the voice of Kermit was Steve Whitmire, who voiced the character since 1990 after the passing of Jim Henson. So never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Does Jim Henson even have a son? I don't know. For some reason, I thought it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought he did. Okay. Well, never mind. Once again, take that, our beliefs. See, this is what happened when you have a podcast and you say stuff and then you fact check yourself in real time. You get made to look a fool.
Well, see, so this says Brian Henson is Jim Henson's son. He's the third child of Jane Henson and Jim Henson. They have a lot of kids.
So at least we got the part right that he has a son.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, here's an interesting fact about Brian Henson. As a teenager, he built the first Muppet penguin puppet for the opening Lullaby of Broadway segment of season 3 of The Muppet Show.
Oh, well, that's cool.
And then he assisted in the production of The Great Muppet Caper during his summer break from high school at the age of 17.
Oh, now that's way cooler. So what'd you do during your summer break? Oh, I went to camp. Oh, I got a job. I worked with my dad on the daggone Muppets.
Yeah, and he is a puppeteer, so I guess this is not crazy that I thought for some reason that he was involved in voicing Kermit. So anyways, I'm trying to just justify why I thought that.
Look what you did, Allison. You spun Papa Monorail out, and for that, you're my favorite member of the Monorail family.
I'm crashing out. Okay, it's on to Brianna, or as we like to call her, Brianna.
Or Banana.
She said... And this was from the Discord. By the way, we do have a Discord if you want to hang out with us on there.
Over there.
I think they should just have Beaker meep/scream to the tune of all the current Aerosmith songs on the ride. Perfect compromise.
Okay, give Banana the $10,000. That's the winner.
That's a good one. Yeah. Very good, Brianna.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Okay, next up, we got Keenan. Keenan says, I think more people can sing along the better. So I'm going to say Journey's Don't Stop Believin'. Although the timing may not work, I also think they should have a range of decades when it comes to the song. I think Don't Stop Believin' would be a fun song as you're ripping through the roller coaster. Definitely has some rockin' parts and everybody knows the song. And to Keenan's point, there's a variety of voices the Muppets could use in the song. I like that answer. Good job, Keenan.
I like the sing-along aspect. That is good. Yeah, that's good. And that just made me think, because I was trying to think of, we didn't come at it from the aspect of like what songs kind of have like a kind of a slow build and then like there's a big like explosion where the song just takes off.
A crescendo, if you will.
Yeah, but like an immediate, like a bang. And, one thing they could do, you remember that trend on social media where people were using the song Sail for like when things would happen, like somebody would jump off a cliff or like a cat would be on a ledge and a sound would make it like scared and it would fall off. They'd go Sail and then the cat would. So, you've got that and then it says Sail and you go flying through. Anyway, that's just what I thought.
So we're not going to make the Muppets coaster. We're going to make the meme coaster.
Yeah, meme coaster. Muppets memes.
Perfect. Yeah, because what's more timely than memes?
All right, our last one
Wow,
comes.
they could do the Nyacat roller coaster.
Oh, that song would work.
Oh, yeah, perfect. All right, give me the $10,000. I win.
That would work. All right, now that's what I'm hoping for. We're gonna get the Nyan Cat coaster. All right. Lastly, we've got Maddie checking in, and Maddie says, "I was thinking like a Bat Out of Hell, sung mainly by Gonzo, with the rest chipping in." And yeah, I like the idea of a range of decades.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think it mainly. I just want it to be a variety. I want them to be able to change it up. And I hope it would be very cool if they did, like, the color tunnel's a great idea, Lee mentioned, but like, I would love it if there's like more lighting effects on the ride. And maybe, I guess maybe they have to be careful with that because people can have, seizure.
Oh yeah.
like
that
epilepsy.
could, yeah. Mm-hmm. Gotta be sensitive to stuff like that.
But yeah, I don't know. I just want them to, I don't want them to just slap a Muppet sticker on the ride and be done. Like, I want this to feel like a different ride, even though it's on the same track and kind of the same idea. And so I hope that they do a little bit more. And maybe that's just me, trying to say, do the Muppets justice, which I feel like they never do. So,
yeah, it's almost like we had this whole campaign of hashtag Save the Muppets. Look where that got us.
I know. Didn't get us very far, but you know what? We're moving right along, and we're looking for that rainbow connection.
See what you did there.
Well,
at least we got merch out of it, which you can get on our website, dismornings.com.
It's true. All right. Well, thank you all so much for chiming in. We appreciate all of your responses. And anytime we do these weekly questions, we're never quite sure if it's going to, excite enough interest to have people respond. So it's really fun to hear from anybody, much less a bunch of you. So thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Yep. Y'all are my favorite members of the Monorail fam.
Yeah. But I think that's going to do it. I think that's a podcast for today. This has been a good one. I hope you all have enjoyed it. And I think mainly I just want to say to all of you, take care of yourselves. Find ways, even if you're not at Disney, find your moments of Zen, find ways to take a breath and connect with your loved ones, your family, your friends, the people that mean something to you. And just, I think it's unhealthy to take in all of the daily breaking news that we have to deal with right now without having a way to escape a little bit. So whatever that looks like for you, I hope that you're able to do that. But Landon, one of the ways people could take a little break from the real world is they could check you out on Blue Sky. How would they do that?
They could follow me, THEDOZ, Landon on Blue Ski, Landon Doane. I'm the best, Landon Doane, not the rest. That's who you can follow me on the fun little website known as Blue Sky. Like I said at the top of the show, the world's terrible, so I try and make it a little less terrible on my little slice of social media over there on Blue Sky. I talk about fun stuff like wrestling. AEW is killing it right now. They just had an amazing show at Arena Mexico this past week, and they are leading up to their biggest show in America, All In, on July 12th. If you are a fan of professional wrestling or a lapsed fan of professional wrestling, I encourage you so much to check out what All Elite Wrestling is doing on a weekly basis. They are just killing it week after week. Somehow, their weekly show is the best show they've ever done on a consistent basis. But I also talk about comics and movies and, just funny general stuff like that. As I almost pulled down my kitchen studio, that technology has been trying me so hard today. You have no idea. But you can follow me there on Blue Sky. I also appear on the Phil Show, News Talk 987 WOKI radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available on the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. Me and Phil talk about fun stuff. I just want to emphasize that because the news is kind of awful right now. We like to talk about fun stuff.
Fun stuff is good.
Putting that out there. Fun stuff is good. And in a world of punks, be a cowboy. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But breathe, have a little bit of fun. And if you could do both of those things, especially right now, that would mean the world to me. And I'll talk to y'all next week. Love you, man. See ya.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you riding the monorail with us today. As always, the monorail's a lot more fun with all of you along for the ride. So thank you so much. You're the best listeners in the business. You're the best Monorail fam we could ask for. And we can't wait to talk to you next week. And until then, I would ask you to mainly just take care of yourself, more than anything. But when you do, find yourself out in the world, no matter what kind of a service worker you're dealing with, make sure you're kind to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
The Monday Morning Monorail podcast is part of the Diz Mornings Network. Visit DizMornings.com for Walt Disney World news, rumors, trip planning advice, and our blog. You can also visit our merch shop and look good when you're traveling to the parks. Don't forget, if you're looking to book a vacation, you can fill out a form on the DizMornings.com website, and Nate or Steffers will reach out and help you get a great deal and take the stress away from booking your next trip to Walt Disney World, Universal, or beyond. Again, visit DizMornings.com for all your Monday Morning Monorail and Diz Mornings needs.